Lord Jim, novel by Joseph Conrad, chapter number 1. There is a man who is little under 6 feet tall, with a strong build and a deep, loud voice. He wears all white and is a white clerk who sails around Asia. Water clerk is not a position with a lot of technical qualification, but it requires certain talent and street smarts. Good water clerks are rare and so worth a lot to captains at sea. Although this man does good work, he often departs quickly after completing jobs. Most simply call him Jim, who is all white, will eventually leave behind white men and live in a jungle village with Malayalas who call him Tran Jim or Lord Jim. The opening paragraphs of Lord Jim establish the title character as someone who is not particularly remarkable. He is average height and does not come from a noble birth, but he also does not have to face and adversity growing up. So Jim grew up on a percentage where his father ministered to rich people and he had four brothers. From an early age he showed an aptitude for sailing. He liked to amaze himself in heroic situations, saving people from drowning or fighting with savages on distant shores. From childhood, Jim already displays the trait that will define the course of his life. His romantic imagination, though Jim's childhood much, much does not receive detail in the novel. It is an important time for Jim because his childhood fantasies drive many of his adult decisions. Back in the present, it's dusk on a rainy, windy day in winter. Ahead of the training ship that Jim is on, two other ships crash into each other. Jim wants to live out his fantasy of saving people in the other boats, but he is too slow to react. He knows he looks like a coward, but feels that at least he learned something useful for the next time he has the chance to be a hero. Next chapter. Chapter number 2. Jim trains for 2 years when he finally goes to sea. He is disappointed to find that the experience does not match up with his fantasy adventures. Also, while life at sea is sometimes dangerous, the dangers are often vague and moderate, like when a spar falls and hits his leg, leaving him unable to walk normally for a long time. As Jim translations from boyhood to adulthood, he learns that the dangers of the adult world are less exciting than he anticipated but not less dangerous. He learns the hard truth that even mundane things like a falling spar can be a danger to his health. At part at port, somewhere in Asia, Jim goes to a hospital for his leg injury. Eventually, he learns how to walk again and begins hanging around near the city's dock, where other sailors congregate. Some sailors are brave and have an air of majesty, but most just some like lazy white men who are eager to force them work on Asian or Arabic subordinates. Jim begins to hate this second group. Jim's story takes place during the height of the British Empire when European sailors travel the world, extract resources to take back to their home countries. Jim correctly sees the exploitative nature of this arrangement, but his own actions does not always align with his beliefs. Jim takes a new job as chief mate on a boat called the Patna, which is owned by a Chinese man or chartered by an Arab man and commanded by a German man who claims to dislike his home country. The ship carries 800 travelers, many of them poor Asian people leaving behind rural lives in the hopes of starting anew. There a man in a white gown and big turban who is charting the boat arrives with several servants and soon the Patna sets off. The five white people on board leave separately from the 800 passengers, although they can hear them.